I would say the Steel Series.
Steel Series, honestly.
Steel Series.
I'd definitely sit with the Steel Series.
By far.
Definitely the Steel Series.
If I had to pick one of these to pick up in game right now, it's going to be the Steel Series.
Gamers prefer our headsets. Find out why at SteelSeries.com.
Alrighty guys, so we are going to be jumping onto the server right now. There is the full screen. We may be waiting a little while longer. And if I'm suddenly dropping frames, or it appears to be on stream, it's because I've alt-tabbed. The setup that I currently have, my PC is not the best in the world, but I'm doing this because Taboo couldn't make it this evening. I'm Metis, by the way. This is my personal channel alongside my casting channel, as it were. But just checking a couple settings to make sure that everything is going to be good to go. How long is warm-up? I have no idea, dude. It appears it's going to be done pretty soon because we are going to be jumping into the knife round, of course, to decide which side will be occupying which. The winner of this, I would highly recommend to be picking themselves up CT. And this was Copenhagen Wolves' choice of map. They have 3 stand-ins, Tenski, Sandon and Glaive, all standing in for them this evening. Na'Vi, of course, with their full roster. And they're already heavy favourites coming into this game, so those 3 replacements are just going to... I mean, it surely has to boost them even further ahead in a lot of people's estimations. It certainly does for me. And it is going to be Na'Vi winning the knife round, and I assume going on the CT side. It's going to be quite difficult for Copenhagen Wolves to break that. There we go, as the switches come around. It seems Razy someone was already on the case, bro. Yep, indeed, Shirag Blaze? I hope I'm saying that right, dude. Yeah, they got 3 replacements in for this game, so it's... I'm thinking it's probably going to be a bit rough. Of course, they would have played with each other a whole bunch of times. That's I'm fairly confident on that one. Let me just sort this out a tiny bit for you. There we go. Making sure this is as smooth as possible. And here we go. We are live into the first round here between RV and Copenhagen Wolves in this best of 2. It's going to be a very difficult game, I think, from Copenhagen Wolves' perspective. They're definitely underdogs in terms of CSGO Lounge, and that's a beautiful headshot from Glaive to open things up nicely. Seized is going to return fire and Sandon on mid. But look at this, the T's are pushing on in the form of Tenski, one of those stand-ins. It's strange that the Copenhagen Wolves lineup is more stand-ins than their set core lineup, but it appears that doesn't make any difference as they're just dropping like flies on RV, and it's all on Seized. He's the only man that has picked up a frag for himself in this game, and he has 4 players ahead of him, and a bomb to defuse. There's the first frag, but he took so much damage in the process, and he gets dropped down. And Copenhagen Wolves take the 1-0 and the pistol round, which is going to be oh so painful. Am I controlling the camera? Yes, it's me. I'm streaming and casting. My camera control is not the best because I don't have a huge amount of experience with controlling camera. Normally I cast and we already have a producer. But I do what I can, dude. I do what I can. Let's have a quick look at how the T's are stacking up. It appears to be long to be through the hallways. All players there. Edward has bought himself up a shotgun, so this could do serious damage if he just holds on. And there we go, as we switch to the perspective of the T's, they're getting mowed down, but there we go, Hunden turns it back around with the Galil. And that will somewhat even things up. Then he gets another one, and suddenly 3 Na'Vi players have fallen down 6 foot under. So Copenhagen Wolves should get that bomb planted, and this was a forced up round from Na'Vi. First scout shot does connect. It'd be very, very difficult for Guardian and Seas to retake this site. They may think about just saving these weapons that they have for themselves, or maybe not. And as Tensky gets buckshot in his forehead. And that is going to definitely leave a mark and sting. And yes, Guardian gets himself an AK, and he decides to just run with his tail between his legs and save that one up. Save it for a rainy day. Definitely the correct play here. The bomb will be exploding. But Seas gets him anyway. I was going to say that maybe Guardian's days were numbered there, but I wasn't expecting that he'd fall that quickly. Did Copenhagen Wolves win the first game? Tretimus, we have not had a map yet. This is still 0-0, dead even. We have just started this best of 2. Or these best of 1s, I should say, but there's 2 of them, and for CSGO purposes, CSGO Lounge purposes, I should say, it has been labelled a BO2. Tensky with a double kill there with the grenades. They just stacked them up. And that has left B very, very much a weak site right now. It's going to be Edward there all by his lonesome. So he's about to eat some grenade damage as he gets dropped to 60 by 62 to 38 HP. Edward and Guardian, last 2 remaining players, one of which has been on B the pretty much entire round. You see, 2 of his teammates die abruptly, and now A is going to be the site of choice. And there's not a great deal that Na'Vi can do about this one. They're going to be running back in with their pistols, but that's all that's going to happen because Edward gets himself dropped instantly from Tensky. Guardian just lurking. He knows his player's there, but he may be thinking about exit frags. He's not going to get anything for his troubles. Asilian with the headshot through the doors. And a quick fire 3-0 to Copenhagen Wolves. So, started very well on T side. But Na'Vi are going to be able to buy up now. And they're going to have full weapons, albeit only 2 for masses there. They do have full grenades. No AWP on the table because they have 4 sport. And unfortunately, from their perspective, lost that round. And if Copenhagen Wolves can win this, they'll be in really good shape already on the T side. Molotov down into drop zone from Asilian. It forces back the defenders, but here comes the confrontation between Zeus and Asilian. Both get themselves one frag and Glaive, but let's keep it on board with Glaive. The man who just picked himself up a frag there has spotted another player, and that will be Guardian, who is waiting, and he gets himself 1 and very nearly a second. That's good work from Guardian. But Copenhagen Wolves still have a player advantage. Now it's back to even. Now Flamey's got himself a frag, and it's down to a one-on-one situation. 2 players left on the server, Asilian and Edward. Asilian has that bomb, and he's moving towards B. His spidey senses are telling him that Edward's on A site, and that would be the correct assumption. He's still checking every corner just to be double safe. But this bomb will be planted from Asilian. I know there's a lot of pressure on the shoulders of Edward, who thinks it could still be A. He's flashed over onto the side. He's wasting a lot of time here, Edward, to find out, no, the site is not planted. And now he has to make the slightly embarrassing journey across to B, where Asilian is waiting for him. So he's going to go through drop zone. Asilian to his right-hand side gets the kill very comfortably indeed. And Copenhagen Wolves with 4 and 0. I'm still a bit confused as to what I just witnessed there. Okay then. Well, that just happened. I'm trying to figure out how he didn't hear the site was not there. Like, you hear the beeping, right? Maybe someone made a derp call on TS? I really have no idea. I'm not sure what to make of that one. Needless to say, Copenhagen Wolves have taken a 4-0. And they are going to be pushing in towards the B side. Here comes some flashbangs. across onto site. Zeus is on that with a 5-7. There are 3 5-7s on the side of Na'Vi, one of which was Zeus's, and he has picked off the head of Hunden, which is going to give them a great little kickstarter in this 5th round. The problem is they're currently 4-0 down, so at this point they're going to be playing catch-up for the foreseeable future. And Copenhagen Wolves should certainly make this 5-0, especially as the bomb has been planted there. Glaive with the P90 headshot. Na'Vi trying to retake what was theirs just moments previously. With the drop from seized into drop zone. And Guardian seems to have absolutely no chance of clutching this round out, surely. The last person out of Cillian does just spot Guardian trying to be cheeky and shuts him down. So 5-0, so much bank on the side of Copenhagen Wolves. You can see there, Cillian has himself just shy of $10,000, so even if they were to lose the next couple of rounds, they're easily going to be able to buy back up. But the round loss bonus coming into effect for Na'Vi, they're going to have themselves an AWP on Guardian, and this should surely be their first round. Surely they're going to start to claw some back. Because Copenhagen Wolves already, with 5 rounds on the board, will be fairly happy with this half. Of course, they're going to want to push forward and look to get at least 7 or 8 rounds, but what a start from the Wolves with 3 stand-ins. Hunden first to fall from the hands of Guardians. That AWP rings out across the battlefield. That will send shivers down the spine of the Copenhagen Wolves. But look at C's, he's about to get himself caught out. Oh, that's what I thought. Somehow he spins around and gets the frag there onto Sandon, who really had no right to do so. I'm very surprised that Sandon got caught out in that way. Now Copenhagen Wolves are in unfamiliar territory here on Cobblestone, and that's a 2-on-4. Make that a 1-on-4. Cillian. Last player standing for the Danes, and he gets dropped down. Na'Vi pick up their first round. Pretty crazy to think. This was Copenhagen Wolves map choice though, guys, so hey, maybe they had some super secret strats with 3 stand-ins here. Overpass is the second map, if you were wondering. That was of course picked by Na'Vi. Lions, yeah, they definitely are amazingly skilled individual players. I just think a lot of people assume that Na'Vi's teamwork would get them to the finish line first, but the way that Copenhagen Wolves have been starting here, I'm not too sure about that assumption and that assessment. They have lost the first player again in the form of Hunden, but there's a Cillian from drop zone to just rip through the forehead of Zeus with the AK-47. That brings it back all even once again with 56 seconds on the timer. All the pressure really on Na'Vi at this point. Nice shot from Guardian again, this time onto Glaive. He's been really the shining light from Na'Vi at this stage of the game. I mean, he does have himself the AWP and you're expecting him to do great things with it, but even the rounds that they were losing, he was still putting his mark on the scoreboard. Copenhagen Wolves player down now. 27 seconds to go. Taking a leaf out of Na'Vi's book. And as an exchange of frags will still go in the way of Na'Vi. Here we go, the push in effect on platform from the Wolves. Get the first frag finally onto Seized, and Guardian with a nice shot onto Sandon. But the important thing to mention here is even though Na'Vi won that round, they lost 3 players in the process. So their economy is not the greatest. Yes, they're going to be able to buy back up again, but if they were to lose this round, Copenhagen Wolves are in great shape. Copenhagen Wolves are going to save this one. They could have forced sport if they wanted to, but instead playing for the long game. And as I said before, there's no pressure on them. They've already got 5 rounds. There's no problem for them even saving a couple rounds and making sure they get an AWP on the battlefield. They could afford to do that with the situation they've built themselves into. And Guardian with the first AWP shot. This should be just a case of lining them up, knocking them down. And there we go. Oh, he misses the 3rd shot. I was expecting him to land that one. It's going to cost him his life. Sandon's down to 9 HP. He's just going to try and run away. They do pick up the AWP anyway, so it's not the end of the world there for Na'Vi. As long as Sandon goes down without causing any more mayhem, this will be a fairly solid round from Na'Vi's point of view. I don't see how Sandon's going to pick himself up, and he frags with 9 HP and a Tech 9, and indeed, he drops down 3 to 5. Still in Copenhagen Mall's favour. They're going to buy up. Are they going to take an AWP? Let's see. The T's don't always take AWP on Cobblestone. There we go. AK-47s. And that does make a lot of sense. That would suggest to me we're probably going to see a B play. Not just because the players are running here, but AK-47, of course, is a much closer range weapon. It's a jack-of-all-trades weapon, if you will, whereas an AWP is pretty much a declaration of intent. It's like, we want to try and get picks on towards A, and then we'll try and, from those picks, establish which site we want to go to and exploit those weaknesses. And thus far, they are setting up for that B play. All 5 players over here in long. It's going to be a force out right now. Here we go. Grenades aplenty across to the shack, but it's going to be the first frag for Zeus. He drops down afterwards. Hunden does get that kill in return. All hell has broken loose, and Hunden gets himself another one. This is huge for Copenhagen Wolves. They've opened up onto the site. They've got the bomb planted, but now the retake in effect from Na'Vi as they bring themselves back into a one-on-one situation, and Edward gets Sicilian, who was looking in the complete wrong direction. Edward checking as if to say, is there another player alive? There isn't, and that is going to be 4-5. So after a 5-0 start, Na'Vi have won 4 on the bounce.
Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win.
And they do have themselves a double AWP setup. Very strong weaponry right now on Na'Vi. Another AK buy-up from Copenhagen Wolves. Try not to spoil, guys. That sucks, dude. That really sucks. Some people are just trying to enjoy the CS. You have to go and spoil. Yeah. Mods, if you could try and ban spoilers, that would be awesome. Anyway, let's just carry on with the action. If you guys don't want to be spoiled, don't read the chat. I guess that's the best way forward for now. Either way, Na'Vi. This is a round. It's going to be fairly important as well, because it'll be Na'Vi, you know, psychologically saying, okay, boys, we've brought it back. It's 5-5 now if we were to win this. On the flip side, if Copenhagen Wolves can take this round, it's going to be a huge bolster of confidence oozing through their veins. The issue is that since those first 5 rounds, they have seemed to have lacked the tactical penetration to push through onto these sites. That has been the main issue for me. There have been some pretty close ones, you know, 1v1s, 2v2s. By and large, Na'Vi's experience is just... it's held fast. Sicilian has got himself a frag, but Flamey comes right back in and gets himself one before being dropped down. And suddenly it's a 3-on-2 in Na'Vi's favour. Sandon trying to get himself into close proximity onto A to try and make something happen. That's a beautiful shot from Guardian. The bomb is being planted from Sandon. I was about to say there is a play there in the form of C's, so I don't expect him to get that plant actually down. And finalised, and indeed he will fall. What's up, Mad Dave? So, back to pistol buy-up our Copenhagen Wolves. They have some armour on the board as well. Glaive is the only person that's not rocking out the armour. Ooh, Glaive should have probably felt he had that frag in the bag, but it's not going to be the case. Now, Flamey's going to stand tall. He gets himself 2, gets himself 3. A thought, no. Just about cling on for dear life. Well, Sandon's down to 9 HP. That grenade is going to smart onto Tensky. No, it just bounces off the wall and doesn't really do a great deal. But Seas walks in anyway with the M4 and overpowers the 2 Tech 9s. That will be the 6-5. And Na'Vi's starting to reclaim some form that we're expecting to see from the very start. Maybe just slow start here from them. Still a pretty solid round. Half, I should say, from Copenhagen Wolves. Thanks, you're dead. Appreciate that, dude. Glad you enjoy. Grenade into mid from Guardian. Knew that he was about to be pushed, and here we go, making that AWP work. Oh, he switches! Oh, that's something that happens sometimes with the AWP. You want to shoot quick so you can move away. But unfortunately, he switched too fast and ended up doing nothing. He's firing blanks. That could prove to be huge here for Na'Vi. Or maybe not, as Edward is just going to shoot through the tree into the face of Tensky and then Asilian. Hunden gets one frag in return. Glaive's going to get himself one as well, so it's down to a 2-on-1. They know where he is, though, so he doesn't have the element of surprise. Grenade flies over the head of Edward, and there we go. He will just flank round the side. 7 rounds in a row. Let me bring up the scoreboard so you can see who is performing and who not so much. Asilian 13 for 7, top fragging on the entire server, and by pretty big distance on Copenhagen Wolves. 12 to 9 for Seized, 11 to 8 for Guardian. You can see there, 5 rounds on the bounce to the T's, and then 7 in a row to Na'Vi. It has definitely been a streaky map so far on Cobblestone. But the streak turned in the CT's favour. If they can finish this half on 10-5, they will be very, very happy with that half. All things considered. Nice shot from Edward. Does get tanked up in the process, but that was through smoke. Trying to follow the trace of gunfire. Sees the snaked his way around the back. And he could do damage here as the confrontation goes 1 apiece between Zeus and the Cillian. Again, though, Copenhagen Wolves find themselves on the worst end of this trade, especially as the bomb has been dropped there onto platform from Flamey. He gets a second kill as well. Very nicely done by him. Vac. Yeah, Copenhagen Wolves picked this map, guys, as Charms just said in chat there. Second map, Overpass from Na'Vi. Definitely expect Na'Vi to pick up that one fairly comfortably. So it's going to be down here to Copenhagen Wolves to salvage the start that they had. I'm not going to say that it's been shipwrecked just yet, but it's definitely looking like that ship is about to capsize. Here comes Edward with the AWP frag. Meanwhile, Glaive, Asilian and Tensky all chime in with kills of their own. And Guardian and Seized are the last 2 remaining players. Well, you can scratch that. It's all on Seized. And he's been spotted from that Tech 9, which will reign supreme at close range. Copenhagen Wolves pick up their 6th round. And they stop that onslaught in its tracks. Final round of the half. Cheers, Window. Window Ed Boy. Thank you for your kind words. I appreciate it. So, final rounds. Every player has weaponry. Zeus only has himself a FAMAS, but I think the FAMAS is pretty underrated as a weapon. It does its job. That grenade lands on the forehead of Edward. That's going to do serious damage to him and Flamey. Deary me. That is very nearly 100 HP and damage from that one grenade. That is huge. Colossal blow for Na'Vi. Don't lose any players just yet, so it's not a catastrophe just now. But will those wounds prove to be mortal ones here for Na'Vi, as the Molotov will force Edward out of position. Sandon will get the spray onto him as he crosses, trying to get himself out of harm's way. And now Flamey has a lot of work to do. He is by himself until the cavalry arrives, but he doesn't need anyone else because he's got 2 frags by himself on the same position. This guy has been a revelation this map. He's been providing such great assault rifle work, but he's been dropped from Tensky. Tensky's looking for that second kill onto Seized. It's not going to happen. It's a 2-on-2. In large part to Flamey, but his teammates aren't able to take the advantage that was given to them. The bomb will be planted, and now it's on Guardian. The Cillian's very low on HP, but he's not even get that frag. 8 to 7. I love you so much, but I'm I'm assuming that's effing mad. I met this. The same name as my Twitch account. This is my personal stream and also my casting stream. I'm here today for you because Dabu couldn't make it. So I'm casting for you guys instead. Alrighty, very good half for Copenhagen Wolves, but strangely enough, and this probably won't make any sense, but a good half for Na'Vi. But that's all things considered. They were 5-0 down at one point. So, strangely enough, I think both teams will be fairly content with that half. And now we can just go to a fresh slate as Sicilian gets himself 2 kills in quick succession. What a start for Copenhagen Wolves here on the CT side. If they can get this, you're expecting it to be around the 10-8 scoreline. But they're seized. And he shuts the door in the face of the Danes before getting his face taken out from Tensky. Flamey and Edward, do you have something up your sleeve? Unfortunately from Edward, he's onto A site, but he doesn't have the bomb with him. Flamey has the bomb in drop zone. A very precarious position indeed, and he's waiting for the push, and here we go, he gets taken down, and now Edward must be feeling a bit hard done by. Playing the lurker all onto A. The bomb's been dropped in a really precarious position. And surely not, no, he gets one before he inevitably falls down, and Copenhagen Wolves do take the second pistol round. As indeed they took the first one. What is up with the stream? I'm not sure, Fred. You'd have to be more specific than that. If you're having issues, try giving it a refresh. It may fix the problems that you have. Other than that, I'm really not sure. Sorry. Pistol Kevlar upgrades for Narvi. So they are going to be committing to this one. 3 MP7s, a FAMAS and a UMP for Copenhagen Wolves. They're going the SMG route, which of course a lot of teams are lately, after the buffs to the SMGs. Sneaking their way towards middle. Oh, Narvi, there's Sicilian. From top of A site. On the roof there, doing work. Oh, what a shot from Flamey. That Tech 9 work is sublime, and he gets the second one as well. This is still a round that Copenhagen Wolves should not lose from this position. His use is very low. Flamey's been dropped. This should be a clear-cut round, but those 2 Tech 9 kills gave them the opportunity to get the bomb planted. And now Edward from the back gets himself 2, so maybe I spoke too soon. It's all on Glaive. He's got himself 1, but in terms of HP, Edward's in a much better position with that bomb planted, and Narvi clutch it out. 2 huge plays, first from Flamey, secondly from Edward, who just bided his time with the MP7 and sprayed them down when they lined up for him. Very nicely done indeed. And apologies, I forgot to go offline, so I'm going to do that right now. Before I get the spam. I'm not doing giveaways, dude. We're here for Counter-Strike. We're here for some sick CS action between Narvi and Copenhagen Wolves, and so far this game has certainly delivered. Nice shot from Sandon. As Hughes pushes in, gets caught with his pants down. That bomb has been dropped in a really horrific position once again, though, from Narvi's perspective, and here comes the spray through the wall from Guardian. He's got himself 3 frags already. So, Narvi have weathered the storm somewhat. Copenhagen Wolves will maybe feel like they're on a bit of tilt after being in a position in that first round where they really should have converted the pistol into their buy. And Narvi have taken a 10-8 lead. And now Copenhagen Wolves are back onto pistols. They've got themselves 3 5.7s, 2 P250s. Narvi seemingly pushing on towards A. Edward's going to get the headshot onto Sandon. Sicilian completely caught out of position there. There's 5 people pretty much spraying at him. It was Guardian who got the final bullet. That's going to leave A ripe for the taking. Bomb gets planted from Flamey in a few moments. There we go. Flashbang over towards Hunden. Copenhagen Wolves may think about just setting up and trying to get some exit frags, because the chance of them bursting onto that site and getting any luck are very, very small. I mean, they may even be thinking about just straight up saving these 5-7s. There's no point going in against 5. Chances of retaking are minimal at best. Hunden thinks about going in late on, but he gets taken out alongside Glaive. Tensky is the last remaining player for the Wolves. And he will be able to save up that 5-7. Is this the first round? Nope. This is the 20th round. This is the first map, though. Second map is Overpass. So, full weapon buy-up here from Copenhagen Wolves. They are opting for the AWP as expected on the CT side, as we saw Guardian doing a bunch of times. Even Edward had himself an AWP towards the end. He had double AWP set up for quite some time on the CT side. And again, it seems like it's going to be an A push. Asilian's going to be flashing through there for Sandon to maybe go ahead and have a quick peek. And that's exactly what happens. But smartly enough, Guardian just holds that S key and pulls himself back out of contentious play. Sandon gets the kill eventually onto Edward anyway. And now it's a case of the T's trying to bounce back into this round. They've done just that, get themselves 2 frags before Zeus falls down. It's a 3-on-3 situation, make that a 3-on-2 as Flamey again opens up with the AK-47 this time. And Hunden on 4 HP and Glaive with only a grenade to his name alongside the M4. This is just looking terrible, and they both got the same position as well, so very comfortable around the end from Na'Vi. And somewhat of a capitulation from Copenhagen Wolves. I mean, I'm not too sure what to say here, guys. Their CT side just seems to have crumbled. It's not over just yet. I mean, they can bounce back again. They can have this momentum going back in the Danes' favour, but as it stands, the CT side has been sorely, sorely lacking. They won the pistol round, and then from there on in, they've lost every round on the CTs, and it looks like it's going to be another one here for them as well. As the T's get the opening frag onto Glaive and now push on to B. Go for that plant. Guardian's going to get the plant, and there's a nice boost coming in from Copenhagen Wolves, but they get caught from the backside courtesy of Zeus's MP7. And there's a third frag for him as well. Asserting his dominance with the SMG. It's going to be another buy-up from Copenhagen Wolves. They have more than enough funds to do just that. Will they be going with the AWP again? Yes, they will. Asilian's going to pick that one up for himself. He's a bit bare on grenades, but there's plenty of grenades elsewhere on the board for the CTs. Where are Na'Vi going to opt for this time around? That's a nice shot from Asilian. Just about to say that needs to be careful because Guardian was pre-aiming that spot for quite a while. Edward picks up the AWP from his fallen comrade and gets himself a frag there, but there is Glaive once again. And Copenhagen Wolves looks as though they might be able to hold on to this round. C's could play a pretty vital part though. He's playing the lurker role through onto long B, while the rest of his team are moving on towards A. Edward, the man with the AWP, is still alive and kicking. He's going to be setting up for that smoke to land onto the A site. They're going to try and smoke screen Zeus and himself across from pushing. Here comes the flashbang as well. That's pretty much shown their hand, though, to Copenhagen Wolves. This is likely going to be an A push, and Zeus eats a grenade for his troubles. Such a precarious position, but he gets the frag onto Sandon. And that is a crippling blow for CTs. All they had to do was lock themselves down into position. And this should have been an easy round for them, but instead, with 25 seconds to go, Hunden, if he falls, it's pretty much game, set, and match, you've got to feel. He does back away, just that grenade was about to bounce off his forehead, but Tensky then goes for a peek, and he gets dropped down, and there's the AWP shot onto Hunden. And from what looked like a guaranteed round for the CTs is now anything but, barring a miracle from Glaive. He's got himself 2. He's on the right side of the bomb in comparison to C's, but C's does have the positional advantage, but he's going to get headshotted down from Glaive. Beautiful work from Glaive. A round that really he should not be winning. He gets his 4-man and a 1v3 clutch as well. Beautiful. And that's going to bring it back to 13-9. And it's Na'Vi's turn to let an opportunity slip through their fingers. Very, very nicely done indeed. Cillian 23-14, top fragging, although his team are 4 rounds behind. Another boost up here, they're going to eat a grenade. And they're going to eat some bullets as well to the forehead. Glaive gets killed. Flashbanging from Tensky, but he does manage to turn around just in time and gets a nice frag onto Flamey, but here comes the re-push from Seized. And he will establish dominance once again for the T side of Na'Vi. Molly down into drop zone. Cillian gets himself fragged, but there is Zeus. Hunden and Sandon, last 2 remaining players. Hunden's on A. Sandon, I should say Hunden was on B and Sandon is on towards A. Watching the mid push. Guardian with the frag with York just running in there. And gets the second one as well. I mean, Sandon, he's a stand-in for Copenhagen Wolves, so I don't want to be too harsh to him, but he's missed a few opportunities that really he should have clutched with both hands. That's a position where, if he's on form, he could easily get both those kills, and that's effectively going to be Copenhagen Wolves at 13-10 behind. Instead, Guardian just walks through and smashes him with York. And that puts Copenhagen Wolves onto an eco round on the 24th round when they're 14-9 behind. And this was their choice of map as well, just to rub salt in those gaping wounds. Here we go. That's a nice flashbang in from the CTs, and Hunden does work with a P2000. It's Guardian being rushed down, but he gets 2 frags of his own, and now it's down to Sandon, that man that I just mentioned before. 11 HP to his name. He has an AK, and I think he's going to save this weapon. It makes sense. Playing for the draw. Yeah, to those of you asking, it's 3 stand-ins. 3 stand-ins for the Wolves. Tensky, Glaive and Sandon. So it will be a force buy-up, albeit a fairly bare bones one from Copenhagen Wolves. 3 FAMASes, no HE grenades at all. Judging by weaponry, you really do expect the Copenhagen Wolves are going to have this one in the bag. Glaive. Oh, he's walked straight past Flamey, and he gets killed. Fair enough to him, though. He was pretty much full flashed, I think. He was by and large blind at that point, and now grenades coming in from the left, the right, and the centre. Flamey is going to have the spray down. He loves this position. We've seen him in it so many times. It's Cillian. He gets the first kill. He's got himself an AWP. Nice shot there from Cillian. Can he channel his inner Glaive and pull off a sick clutch? There is a chance he can do this one. He smoked across to mid. Didn't quite connect, but it's done enough to force Flamey away. The problem is, as soon as he tries to push onto this van, he's going to get shot in the back. Oh, I thought he just about had the kill. Onto Flamey, but instead it's going to be 16-9 to the terrorists. Na'Vi pick up the first round. I should say the first map. And they'll be going into overpass at a 1-0 advantage. And just for those of you asking about best of 2s, the way this will work is if you bet on Na'Vi and they happen to win the next map, you'll win skins. Of course, if Copenhagen Wolves win the next map, it'll go 1-1. In that case, you would have your skins returned to you. So it would effectively be a null and void bet. And, of course, if you've bet on Copenhagen Wolves and Na'Vi end up winning the next map, and unfortunately, you will be losing your skins. That's the way it works here. Either way, we're going to cut back to a quick commercial break. When you rejoin us, we'll be live for map number 2. So I'll stick some music on. We're going to have some ads running as well, guys. It helps us support the stream. So please, if you could turn off your ad block, that would be amazing. If not, then just, I'll see you in a few minutes.